Good day and welcome to the Sport Rep Show. My name is Jesse Jackson Kauraitha and I will be your host for today, unpacking the latest sports news in and beyond Namibian borders. And now for the latest on the hit list. Well, there was an important World Cup match in the Cricket T20 World Cup. Of course, Namibia involved with the Netherlands, and now the scores, of course, favoring the Netherlands in that one. The Netherlands have managed their run chase successfully to reach 159 with 3 in 18.0 overs in response to Namibia's FNB Eagles 156/8 and win their ICC T20 World Cup Group A match in Delhi by 7 wickets. Bas de Leede, of course, of Netherlands, has been named a player of the match for his 72 runs of 48 balls, 5 times 4, 4 times 6, and 20/22/20, which included the wickets of Gerard Erasmus and JJ Smith, as well as the run out of Ruben Trambeland. The Namibians now face a heavyweight clash against, that is, a big team host India in Delhi on Thursday afternoon. Netherlands' next match is Friday against the USA. We also have news from the Namibia Rugby Union, of course. We know that Namibia did not qualify for the World Cup. It was indeed a set ending for Namibia's World Cup campaign after failing to beat Zimbabwe, and also in the recharge tournament where they were supposed to book their place to the World Cup. Of course, now Namibia Rugby Union has set its sights on rejuvenating and revamping, focusing on development and more. Let's hear from the CEO, that is John Haynes, in terms of what they have planned.
From the union. The current status of the union, the reset and rebuilding strategy for 2026-2031. The Namibia Rugby Union is currently navigating a transition phase following the conclusion of the Rugby World Cup 27 qualification cycle. The union confirms that Namibia did not qualify for the Rugby World Cup 2027. As a result, World Rugby High Performance Funding, which is linked to participation in the World Cup 2027, has been adjusted in line with the applicable funding framework. This change in funding has required the union to reassess its high-performance structures and overall financial planning to ensure sustainability and alignment with available resources. The Namibia Rugby Union recognizes the heightened public interest and commentary surrounding recent development within the union. The NRU affirms that its governance and executive structures remain in place and fully operational, and that the union continues to function in accordance with its constitutional, regulatory, and international obligations. As part of the post-qualification review and funding realignment process, changes have occurred within the union high-performance environment. These developments followed the conclusion of the World Cup qualification cycle and the associated adjustment of high-performance funding. The NRU emphasizes that these matters arose from broader structural and funding considerations, rather than individual or performance-related issues. The NRU wishes to place on record that all engagements during the process have been conducted professionally and in good faith. The union remains committed to respectful, transparent, and constructive relationships with all coaches and technical personnel as it enters the rebuilding phase. Operational continuity has been maintained, and the NRU confirms that it remains compliant with all its national and international obligations. In parallel with these developments, the union has completed an internal review of its governance structures, operational systems, high-performance environment, competitions, development pathways, and financial position. The review highlighted the need for structural strengthening to support long-term growth, sustainability, and comparative relevance, while also confirming the strong foundation provided by the Namibia's rugby community, athletes, and stakeholders. The unit acknowledges calls from the rugby community for increased engagement, clarity, and communication. As part of the reset and rebuilding strategy, the NRU is strengthening its governance and reporting and stakeholder communication processes to support transparency, accountability, and trust across the rugby ecosystem. The NRU Reset and Rebuilding Strategy 2026-2031 represents a deliberate shift from short-term performance-dependent models towards long-term sustainability, institutional resilience, and comparative relevance. The strategy is the outcome of a structured internal review and planning process informed by international best practice and aligned with World Rugby framework. It is built on 5 integrated pillars. Number 1, governance and leadership and institutional reform. 2, financial sustainability and commercial growth. 3, high performance and national pathway rebuild. 4, competition and participation growth. 5, development, transformation, and community impact. Looking ahead, the Namibia Rugby Union acknowledges the recent outcomes represent a challenging period for both the union and the broader rugby community. However, the NRU remains firmly committed to a disciplined, transparent, and measured rebuilding process. The 2026 and 2031 period will focus on institutional stabilization, sustainable commercial growth, aligned development pathways, and progressive performance improvement over successive competition cycles. The NRU continues to engage with its members, partners, sponsors, and stakeholders to ensure program continuity and to safeguard opportunities for players' development during the rebuilding phase. The NRU thanks the members, partners, and supporters for their continued commitment and support during this important period of renewal and rebuilding. Thank you.
Well, Johan Diergaard of the Namibia Rugby Union also shared his views in terms of how Namibia will, of course, come out of this dark spot, which he explained that it is not really as bad as it seems, and that the Rugby Union can, of course, salvage something in order to bring back the glory days in Namibian rugby.
I don't feel not qualifying for the work has there's no more trust in rugby. I think it's a matter of we need to start building, start getting new culture, start getting new players, because from now on up to the next qualifying rounds, most of the players that played in those circumstances or playing the repertoire will not be available. So what we create a new pathway. The under-20s, back. We will still take part in the Victorian Cup in June. So rugby will go on as in the past. We engage with specifically the government and our sponsors to finance and sustain our programs going forward. So yes, rugby is not in downgrounds. It's not down as per some reporters say. Rugby going, we had last week a successful tennis starting with. This weekend we will have a club championship, and rugby will continue as in the past. All rugby teams all over the world have dips. The New Zealand team, which we think is one of the strongest teams, struggle now at this stage. There's teams that didn't qualify for the World Cup who was part of the top 20. So yes, we need to work out and we need to engage everybody to help us get out of this. It's not my rugby, it's not your rugby, it's Namibia's rugby.
Well, we hope that the rugby union, of course, takes us to greater heights once again. We'll now cross over to the marketplace before we return with more news on the show.
Life is unpredictable and one needs to be protected against any eventuality. Get Santam legal access from as little as 50 Namibian dollars a month for when you find yourself in need of legal representation due to civil cases, criminal prosecution, and family matters such as divorce, child maintenance, and custody. It also covers labor disputes, disciplinary hearings, and unfair dismissal or retrenchment. With Santam Legal Access, you'll receive free legal advice on almost every legal aspect, whether the specific matter is covered by your policy or not. For true peace of mind and legal protection when you need it most, call us on 061 292 8000. Santam. This is freedom.
Well, the Salute Boxing Academy recently held a very important tournament. Of course, our reporter Brian Munango was there and has provided some of this footage action as the boxers were trading leather.
Round number 4, Ali failed to answer the bell. We have a winner by TKO. David Hefner.
The Namibia Premier Football League also produced some important events over the weekend, with African Stars taking the lead in terms of the lock table there, with Chula Chula coming in second. Now, there was an important match between Stars and, of course, that is Commerce Nampol FC. Let's hear from the coaches, that is Agnes Ilemu of African Stars, as well as Commerce Nampol FC's Fortune Ahab, on what they thought as African Stars beat Commerce Nampol by 2-0. Coach Fortune, not a good day at the office. Of course, African Stars coming out victorious in this one. 2-0 defeat. What did you make of the match?
Wow, what a game, what a game. The rain did not make it easy for us to play, for both teams. We had numerous chances in the first half. We had numerous chances, easy tap-ins to go. The first half, even the second half, just a one-on-one with the keeper. We hit both occasions. And we sleep on the first goal. We sleep. Corner was taken. Everyone is just running towards the box, not checking the opponent. And the opponent just play a quick one and they take a shot. And if you take a shot from there, it can go anywhere. So it's a tough one for us. But a good performance from the boys. I'm happy overall performance. But we need to wake up. We need to wake up to a certain moments of the game, because there were moments that we tried to play on a slippery pitch, and you will be punished every time.
All right, coach. Well, what's next for the team?
Yeah, we have 42 points to play for. Second leg has started officially, so we have 42 points to play for. There is still much football left. We will just regroup. We will regroup because there is a 2-week break. See what we can do. Unfortunately, every time when we play it Independence, it's raining, so it's very difficult to let the ball move, and the ball is moving faster. So maybe we also need to train in the rain, just to apply the boys, give the boys a necessary boost how to play in the rain. But we give ourselves a good chance, but there is still a lot of football to play for.
All right, coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
A victory for your team here against Commerce Nampol FC. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, first we thank the Lord God Almighty for this victory. Again, I would like to say glory again to the Lord God Almighty. The boys did what they can do, because as champions, each and every game that we play, we always tell them we take the game the way it comes, each game the way it comes, and then at the end of the day, we need to collect those maximum points.
All right, this victory puts you right at the top of the table, or yes, for the moment. Does that give you perhaps a hint of that you want to go up?
No, the thing is, every game that we are going to play, whether we go on top or not, we don't care about what other teams are doing. As we play our games and we move on for the rest of the league.
Thank you so much, coach.
Thank you.
We'll now cross over once again to the marketplace, and then we return with the golden oldies.
Taking flight has never been easier. Paratus is introducing Sky-Fi internet packages with speeds that will have you reaching for your seatbelts, starting from $500 Namibian excluding VAT per month, with speeds reaching up to 10 megabits per second. There's even a prepaid option where you can top up your Sky-Fi internet for just $15 Namibian per gigabyte. No contracts, no fuss. Visit your nearest Paratus branch to find out more, or go to paratus.africa/Namibia to sign up online.
Always prepared, Paratus.
Today in our golden oldies, we look at a guy that has been coming of age. Of course, his name is Sam Perry Matthews. Sam Perry Matthews, now at 32, has been one of the boxers that has been fighting for the MTC Nesta Sunshine Boxing and Fitness Academy for a while. After that, he has now turned to Golden Boxing Club, of course, owned by Tags Naule. Now, Perry Sam Matthews was scheduled to fight in December. That fight did not take place. He however, has set his sights on rejuvenating his career. He feels that at 32, he can still come up and produce another top card. Perry, of course, hopes that this year, 2026, as he leans towards the age of retirement, feels that he still has more to offer to boxing and wants to give his all in the next fight. He has called on European opponents, African opponents, Asian opponents in the featherweight division to challenge him. So we hope that Perry Perry will be doing great this year in our Golden Oldies. Our international correspondent Ario Hart is on standby to give us the latest international sports news from across Namibian borders. Let's hear from Ari. From me, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha. It is goodbye.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with the men's T20 international cricket tournament taking place at the moment in India and Sri Lanka. Namibia playing their first game, that was in Delhi. They played against the Netherlands. It was unfortunately the Netherlands that won that game by 7 wickets. Namibia batting first, 156 for 8 in their lot of 20 overs. Competitive total, it was Nicol Lofty-Eaton with 42 from 38 deliveries. He was the highest scorer for Namibia. But then it was the Netherlands that batted down the runs in the 18 overs exactly. And they scored 159 for the loss of 3 wickets only. Bas de Leede, he was the best batsman for the Netherlands, 72 runs off just 48 deliveries. So the next game for Namibia will be this Thursday. They have a tough game then. They play against the host India. That game will be at the same field also in Delhi. Other group games to mention was South Africa also played their first game. That was against Canada. South Africa winning that game with by 57 runs. South Africa 213 for 4. And then it was Canada 156 for 8 in their allotted 20 overs. And other two results, Italy that lost against Scotland. Scotland beat Italy by 73 runs. And Zimbabwe, good win for them. They beat Oman by 8 wickets. Also cricket news is that Pakistan Cricket announced that they will play against India. That was in the news. It was Pakistan government that said they will not play against India, and that was because of Bangladesh that was kicked out of the tournament. Bangladesh asked not to play their games in India, and that was denied. So Bangladesh replaced by Scotland, and it is lots of tension politically between Pakistan and India, but now the Pakistan Cricket Board said that they will continue to play their game against India. Big game that is going to be this coming Sunday. Pakistan that play against India. That will be on a neutral ground. That will not be in India. That will be played in Sri Lanka. And then to close off today's international sports news, it is rugby news. The Six Nations European men's rugby competition that continue. It will be week 2 this coming weekend. A big game in Scotland. It is Scotland that will host England, and the news from England is that they still have an injury concern on the wing. In fact, it is Emmanuel Feye-Wabosu. He was injured just before the Wales game. He couldn't play against Wales, and now he's out for the tournament with a hamstring injury. So it is Scotland that host England. England had a good win in their first game of the tournament. And it is other two games that will be played over the weekend. Wales will host the team from France. That will be in Wales in Cardiff. And then the other game, the third game that will be played will be Ireland that will host Italy. So that is all international sport. That is Six Nations Rugby coming up this coming weekend. That's international sports news for today. I hope you have a great sport day. We talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.